Well, hello everybody. I am doing this video because I really valued, when I was doing my camper build, being able to watch other people's videos and see what their ideas are, see what worked, what didn't work, understand how they'd gone about certain construction stages. True Blue Travellers in particular, real stars with their video series for their Sainsbury's conversion. But I've finished my conversion. I haven't videoed it whilst I've been doing it. I'll just do a quick walk around now to show the finished result and talk through some of the decisions I took and why I did them. First thing to say is, you might have spotted this isn't a Sainsbury's van that's been converted into a camper. The faded lettering on the front there gives it away, as does the green. It's an ASDA van. I bought an ASDA van simply because it was a lot cheaper than buying a Sainsbury's van, and there was one available locally. So I got that. The ASDA box is lower than the Sainsbury's box inside, so you don't get the headroom, and one side is compromised because it's got doors and sliders on it, so it's not strong enough to use for travelling. So I had to take off the ASDA box, unbolted it from the chassis, sold that on, and bought myself a Sainsbury's box, and that's bolted onto the chassis in exactly the same place. All the bolts are interchangeable, no problem at all. The only challenge is dealing with moving 200 or 300 kilograms, 400 kilograms of box off the chassis and moving it back on the chassis. But if you've got the means to do that, you can switch the boxes around as much as you like. Having got the Sainsbury's box, the conversion just on the outside, not a massive amount to see, to be honest, on the outside. Window in the offside here, stickers down the side to convince DVLA it's a camper van and not a box van, and I've fitted some boxes down the side here. You've got the wastewater tank here, which is put together with some cable trunking, just bent to fit, and then that's bolted to the C-section under the box. Next to that, next to the wastewater, you've got a Dakin storage box. That's 90 centimetres long. It's about the biggest they do. Those two boxes combined are a tight fit when you've got to deal with the suspension as well and the wheels. Wheels still absolutely standard, suspension absolutely standard. Just fitted a mudguard there over the wheels. At some point I might upgrade the suspension, but it's not a priority for the moment. Stepping back and looking at the back of the van, even less to see than there is on the side of the van. The base there has just come straight off the light unit there is straight off the ASDA van. Just bolts onto the chassis, no problem at all. So you've still got all your reversing lights, your stop lights, your fog lights, the rest of it. Back of the van, I've filled up the doorway. You can still probably see the joins, just about the shadows of the joins. No window here because there's a bed on that back wall. There'd be no point having the window because it's just hidden by the bed. Small reversing camera fitted there underneath the brake light. Quite handy when you're reversing, you can see where you are. And then moving to the near side, much the same as the offside really. You've got the same kind of window at the front there. We have a water-filled cap there, more graphics. Between the window and the rear of the box there is C-section rail that's just been bonded on with grip adhesive. That holds an awning. That C-section rail is 1.2 metres long, standard length. It's about all I could fit, to be honest, between the rear of the box and the window. And although it might not look that high up on the box, it's actually 2 metres off the ground. So by the time you've got the awning there, you've got plenty of headroom under the awning. It gives you a bit of shade, a bit of shelter. Moving in close on this side, we've got another 50 centimetre Dakin box here. The steps are standard motorhome steps, manual steps. They just bolt onto the underside of the box. Nice big washers on the on the inside of the box to take the load. And then there's another Dakin box at the front of the van. Those ones are easier to fit in because they're smaller. Just so you can see what I've done, how I've mounted those. They are secured with builder's angle that they use for holding walls together. 90-degree step at the back there. I've bolted that to the C-section side on, so it does mean the box itself is pretty solid. You can't move it very much, it just flexes a little bit, and it's on the C-section, so it's not compromising the box at all. It's just the load is all being taken by the steel of the C-section. Coming up to the door I have made, cut out the box sidewall, kept the cutout, bought some fridge sealant flap from CBF Commercials, bought the hinges from CBF Commercials, some new locks, and that's just been cut to fit, and it makes a perfectly good door. That said, it's a hell of a lot of effort to make that door, and as True Blue Travellers found, the fit isn't as good as it could be. So if I was doing it again, I think I'd just go for a groom's door from one of these horsebox companies, but it will do the job for what I need. Right, stepping inside, I'll start at the front near side and move round. At the front here we've got a storage unit. These have got square boxes. These are just canvas boxes from IKEA, roughly 1 foot by 1 foot by 1 foot. So 3 of those, no, 6 of those, 3 layers. And then underneath you've got the electric control panel, and behind there you've got the electrics. You've got a lithium battery, Renogy B2B charger that will charge up from the solar panel on the roof or from the engine if the engine's running, and it will charge up the engine battery or the van battery if the leisure battery is fully topped up. So not a very complex electrical system at all, very little demand on the electric system, just lights, a couple of fans, the fridge and the cooker. I've got a got-to-go toilet which is just braced in position here rather than being in the loo, simply because for travelling it's easy to brace it in the cabin, in the box itself. So if you need it you move it into the shower room, but for travelling it sits there. If you wanted, you could put a cut through into the cab on that end wall there, the space is there, and then there is a very small shower room, standard shower, mixer tap at the bottom, and then the base is made of a tough box tray, 80 centimetres by 60 centimetres, plastic, very cheap, very strong, and very waterproof, so it'll do the job. It is a bit of a small shower room, but we're not going to have showers very often, and it will do the job. The one thing I still need to do is fit a shower curtain in here. Moving on, we get to the kitchen. I will just push the bed out of the way first so you can properly see the kitchen. And the kitchen units are about 2 metres long. In some ways the kitchen's bigger than it needs to be, but the space was there so I used it. What we have here is a JP Heating diesel hob. Expensive, £700-800 from China, but cheaper than the equivalents from the USA or Europe. It's a diesel hob, so it doesn't need any gas in the camper. Simple controls, turn it on, takes a few minutes to warm up, and then you have a sort of induction heat type style hot ring on the left, cooler ring on the right. And what is also quite clever about this is that you can use it as a hot air blower as well. So just that little gap there will blow hot air through into the habitation box and give you 2 kilowatts of heating. The rest of the kitchen, plenty of drawers, electric fridge at the end, and a sink with a tap on it, and then at the top we've got a bit more storage, again with just IKEA boxes in them, and a bit of plastic on the lip there to stop the boxes falling out. Moving on round, at the very back we've got the plumbing and the water. On the near side there is not a lot to see there, but that's a 100 litre water tank. You've got your water pumps there, and then on the offside we've got a calorifier hot water system. Those two red plastic lumps show where I've still got to connect the engine coolant system to the tank to give us my hot water. I'll get that done this week, and then once that's all up and running, you've got 10 litres of hot water in that tank, and then push fit plumbing all the way around. So not a great deal to see. That hides away quite nicely. I've just put in some little little magnetic catches, so you can just push the plywood against that, and it's all held in place neat and tidy without any great complexity. You pull it off, just pull the handles to pull it apart if you need to get in there and do anything. Moving on to the near side, you've got your benches. These are about, I think, 80 centimetres wide. One bench, table. That's just made out of floorboards from Wicks, as is the same floorboards we used for the kitchen worktop. Table leg and mounting system, so you can take the table off the wall if you need to. Another bench at the front there. Storage under the benches. Ventilation holes put in just to allow a bit of air circulation in the bottom of the boxes so that they don't get too musty. And another bit of high level storage up there, pretty small there because there's not much space available. You've got the skylight on the roof, just about see that there, and then this big grey thing is the underside of the bed, which I've posted a lot on Facebook pages about this. This is a fold down bed, just pivots on some door springs and then folds down to 90 degrees, perfectly flat. Standard double 4'6" wide bed. It's got a elastic cage on it, for want of a better word, that is used just to hold the mattress and the bedding in place. But it's very easy to lift up and down. When travelling, I'll leave it down like this because then it can't go anywhere. Once you get to where you want to in the campsite, you just push it up out the way and you've got a lot more living space. But it's solid. It rests on the kitchen worktop on this side, just pressing a little bit against the sink rim, which isn't ideal, but the pressure is pretty light. There's a lot more load taken by bits of wood further back. And then on the near side, stuck a bit of wood to the wall. The bed rests on that, and that bit of wood also holds cables for the lights, the reading lights on the benches. I don't think there's not much more to say about the inside of it. It's relatively basic. As I say, no gas, just diesel for heating and cooking, good water system. The van will heat the hot water up by using the coolant system, and you've got the basic lighting, fridge, cooker, electrics all wired up, but I'm not expecting massive demand on the electrics. I've got a 200 watt solar panel on the roof just to keep it topped up, but other than that it's good to go, and I'll be looking forward to travelling in it. I've enjoyed the video. If you've got any questions, just let me know, but I would say like, subscribe and all the rest of it, but I'm not a YouTuber, so don't worry. Thanks for listening and watching.